Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome everybody once more to Retro Spectrum. It's review time! And as one of our commenters on the Twitch channels point out, it's Ninja with a Machine Gun, which is actually an exciting name for a game. Let's go for that one. And no, instead we have Saboteur, Clive Townsend's stealth action arcade shooter from very early on in the Spectrum. Not very early on, it's 1985, so we're about 2 to 3 years in to the programming on that one. And there's been a lot of requests for this one actually over on the Facebook group, facebook.com/RetroZXSpectrum, and throw any other URLs. Just search for the YouTube or twitch.tv/UNSpence. By all means, carry on with the following. Now, Saboteur is it's a very, very simple idea. You've got to go into the enemy base. You've got to find the disc. It doesn't say what's actually on the disc. My guess is that there's lots of spy names like the hard drive that's in the laptop in one of the last James Bond films. And you've got to get that disc, then escape the enemy base, climb up to the roof where there is a helicopter you can steal, and fly back to safety. And when you reach safety, you will get paid some money. There we go. That's it. This is what we're going to do. So there's a bit of stealth, there's a bit of martial arts, ER Kung Fu way of exploding fist fighting, which is basically kick, punch, flying kick. It's a Spectrum game, so there's lots of mapping involved as well. And I'll tell you right now two things that's going to happen in this review. One is I'm going to try and finish it. Two is I've got a copy of the map. Because I don't have weeks and weeks and weeks to map out this entire game. So we do have a slight hack there. I'm also going to be playing it on easy level, just so you can see more of the game. And yes, just because I'm not that good at it. Right, okay, let's bring up the game up. And I do love this one. If your copy of this game does not have a blue cassette body with Durell embossed on it, and doesn't have Durell in the lead-in strip, then it's a forgery. Please send any forgeries too. I'm so tempted to put this on a USB stick and send it off and see what happens. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Anyway, right then, let's just classic any key to continue as we go in here. So we've got some very, very minimalist graphics, it's probably fair to say. We've also got a replacement font as well, so you get the feeling that this isn't just a bare bones Spectrum title, which we've seen a couple of times before. We'll get a cursor out of the way. We no longer need a mouse. We just need to decide on our control options. But we'll do the redefine keys just so you can see that it literally is just fire, up, down, left, right. I have no idea why I've selected those keys. So that's alright. We're going for a PS4, which in Spectral language translates as Kempston. And we're going to start our mission. It's an S, not a 5. Skill 1. My mission will be extremely easy. It will still be very difficult. Right then. Now, you do have a timer on the level here. And that timer will stop when you find the disc. So, let's just duck out under here and get some space. So, at the start of the game, you're against the clock. Once you've found the disc, you've got a bit more time. So, there's going to be a little bit of fast running through here and a little bit of glancing through. So yes, we do want to go down there. So you can see here we've got a very large game area. It's flip screen as well. We've got piles of rubbish. Now, piles of rubbish means that it's usually a brick or something you can pick up and throw. Because, yes, we do have a shuriken, but once you use an object, it's gone. So let's just try and get out of the way. Throw the shuriken. There we go. There's no way to kill the dogs that I found, even though they will savage you. So you just kind of have to stay out their way. Thankfully, though, if you rest, you'll see your energy bar recovering. But of course, we are against the clock. So there's a little bit of balance here. Let's just try and ninja our way out of here. Why are you running me? You're going to kill me, aren't you? I'm dead already. Okay, so that doesn't help if I'm trying to complete the game all the way through. Because the correct thing there to do, of course, was to run away. Good news, though. That was extremely easy. Okay, so we've got left, we've got right, we've got duck, we've got up, which is jump. This gives you a flying kick. you've got fire, which you can use to throw things, and if you're not carrying anything, it will throw a punch. So let's just sneak through here with the slight advantage of us having the map, because as you're going to see through here, this is a huge gameplay area. You've got sewers, you've got factories, you've got what other you've got big secret spy computer thing. Oh, see now, look, there's a useful thing. Look, there's a knife on the floor, so it's probably in these trays. There we go. So we pick up the knife. You see there, and we can throw the knife. Doesn't actually do anything because of the collision detection, but we'll just get out of the way as quickly as we can. Shimmy down these sewer pipes. Pick up a brick so we've got at least one early offensive weapon. And you'll see there, we'll just take a moment to get our breath here. Yep, take two indeed. For those of you who are watching on YouTube and Facebook, this is the secret underground spy car that they use to ferry in people to the underground base. Yeah, for those of you who are watching on later on in YouTube and Facebook, you can follow me recording all these reviews live at twitch.tv/UNSpence. I've got a brick. Why didn't you let me throw the brick at you? Okay, right. I'll just run over here. We're now into what I like to call the sort of second part of the main base, which is the great big underground industrial complex. That's not where I want to go, is it? Is it? Is it? No, it's not. Okay. And if we duck through here, can we get him with a flying kick? Not this time. So I'm just going to run away. Of course, he's now going to alert everybody and tell everybody where I am. We're just going to get into Subway Car 2 and scoot along. We're actually scooting under the great big danger computer at the moment, which just helps us get through. So you'll see, of course, here that what we are doing is we're managing to bypass all the difficulty and... Ooh, he's not seen me yet. He's seen me now, but I've got enough time to actually get in and give him a punch. Yay! Oh, there's a dog, so we'll just run over there. We'll carry on being quiet. Don't have anything. I got close. Do martial artsy things. It's not working. I shall just run away. Oh, there's somebody else up here. How delightful. But I shall take you out, which gives me a chance to lean over and look at the map. And what I actually want to do is run this way. Yeah, there's not a lot of time to sort of turn around and have you got the disc. Comes out of the computer. Now the timer now stops, so we can now kind of sort of just take a breath and talk about the game. As I said, from 1985, and as my commenter pointed out, this mansion needs 2 trains. That's because it's a mansion of an evil overlord who's kidnapped a disk of information. But it is huge, because this is the underground bit of the mansion warehouse, and we'll have more of that to get through. We have to keep holding on to that disc and not run into the other guy. And as you can see, what we've got is what was the Spectrum was always great at, which was a great big expansive thing that you had to map out. And of course, we're not doing anything here, so you've got time to map it out. It must have been really hard to get the early part of the level mapped out, because you know you're sitting there against the clock. And of course, these computer towers, if you just sort of sit at them, they will actually open up security doors. Now, if you choose a more difficult level, what actually happens is there are more security doors closed. So you have to visit more of these barriers to actually get your way out. Okay, so we can go back through the subway, or we can go the other way. Let's go the other way and have a little look around. It's relatively accurate on the controls in terms of your left-right movement. So that's nice to see. Now there was something on the ground there. I thought I saw it flash up. I did. There's that classic ninja weapon of a pipe. But of course, there we go. We'll just knock you over. We'll remember where we left the disc because ninjas don't have pockets. And he remembers that he's dead, which is nice in a game like this. And we will just shimmy down this ladder's cut over. It's a little bit less accurate in that sort of left-right mode. Okay. But at the same time, you know, that guy knew I was there, but he's not chasing me. So there's a, you know, this is still sort of early in the whole stealth game mechanics. It really should be the, oh, come on, guys. Now here's one of these security doors, by the way, so you can see here that we can't actually do anything with it. Oh, look, I'll sneak this way. You sneak that way. And I will just run at the same speed. And this time I will try and do a flying kick on you. No. Oh, you're throwing a knife at me. That's not nice. No, punch, punch, punch. Down you go. Right then. So. Yep, there's the thing. Okay, right then. So obviously you're not going to let me go back through the security door. Fair enough. Jump over the dog in that sort of weird, strange, levitating ball way. And to go through here. There are some Spectrum games that feel ahead of their time. And, you know, there's a lot of things in this game which are ahead of its time. The whole idea of a stealth action genre being the obvious one. But we also had all our mapping and fun and games as well. But at the same, but you know, it's clearly a retro game. You know, you can clearly see the sort of influences. You know, if you handed this out as a screenshot and went, when do you think this game came out? You'd be saying, oh, it's early 80s. Because it really does feel of its time. There's obviously a lot of tricks to go in to get the sheer size of the map, which you're seeing here, and everything held in. But there are some limitations. You know, it advertises itself as having these martial arts moves and everything, and quite frankly, there's not a lot of them. So it is much more of an adventure game than, you know, it's not Ghost Recon. Let's put it that way. But there is just something that, you know, first of all, the size of the main character, I think, plays a lot in this. That, you know, you've actually got somebody that you can feel a real affinity to. Where are we in terms of maps and stuff? Right, there should be a big ladder this way. Oh, you threw a knife at me. You don't like you. Well, you know, I'm just going to try and run away. You see, I'm just caught in a sort of sluggish control battle there. The controls aren't perfect to that point there. How high up can I go? I go all the way up to here. That's a long way up the level. Okay, and I'm safe to have a look around as well. So there's moments where you can just sort of stop and have a think and have a rest. Okay, so I'm next to a security door, so I can't actually do anything that way. Lurky dog. What's up here? Oh, more ladders that I can escape the bad guys from, or just knock them out. Fair enough. Okay, are you going to let me go up any further? Is the question. Wow, there's a fair amount of stuff going on here. I've fallen down some sort of trap well thing. So yes, this is Saboteur. It's very large. It's expansive. What we're trying to do now is we're trying to get through this section to get up to the roof of the building so we can steal a helicopter and escape, because you've thought about how to get out of this adventure, and your answer to getting out of your adventure is a very ninja-like. Pretend you're in a 1980s action film with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura and steal a helicopter, because why wouldn't you? Yet it's a game that I can see how it has captured a lot of people's memory. The amount of time you would take to map everything out here would be a serious investment of time. You've got to get those jumps pretty close. If you were on top of all the action and were able to kill the bad guys at each level, and remember, we're playing this on the easy level as well, so. But yeah, it's just that combat is really, really awkward. It's actually easier to run away than it is to actually take on the bad guys. So yeah, stick around. As I said, I'm going to do my best to finish the game here, but I think that is the review all told. It is big. It's expansive. It's that's the sort of thing that if you're playing this 1 hour a day after school every single day, that's the sort of stuff that you would know how to do. And as I said, as we've already mentioned, I make no bones about the fact that I am using a map at the side of the screen here, so the amount of time that you would have to invest to do the map of this, I've also bypassed as well. So there we go. Let's jump up the screens. Let's jump over. We've got a ladder at the very end. That's fine. So we're climbing up the ladder. You can't jump off a ladder either. See, you've got to get lined up. So there are points where it's not as fluid as it could be. You've got to jump up here, but you don't get the full jump animation. You've got to hit the diagonals on the keys. It's not, and there you are hitting up. So it's not perfect, and you got to look. And so, how much of a consideration do you make of the titles that were out in 1985? There we go. Also, you can punch when you've jumped. Oh, that might be useful to know. Okay, right then. Useful things that you'd probably write down on a your Sinclair notepad. Send off into Tip Shop Dictionary and get a badge. But I suspect, yep, we're in the penthouse now. And over here, we have our helicopter. We can escape the mansion. Hey! Escape! The disc is retrieved. Mission successful. Disc bonus $5,000. Level 1 bonus $1,000. Total pay $16,100. Which, of course, is your score. And that is a successful saboteuring. You're now one of our 10 best ninja saboteurs. Enter your name. You win. And there you go, your proper action theme music from your 1980s. Come out at last. Saboteur Ninja. Saboteur Ninja is almost as good as that, yeah. I still prefer Ninja with a machine gun. So there we go. Saboteur. Is that recommended? That's a slightly trickier one. It is showing its age, and the author, Clive Townsend, has remade this for iOS and Android as well. So I probably want to go and have a look at that one as well as this one. It certainly, I think, is one that's going to have a lot of strong memories if you bought this first time around. I'll be honest, I didn't. So I don't have that affinity that I did with it. I didn't spend ages on the map like I did with, say, Fantasy World Dizzy, for example. And without the map, it would be very, very, very difficult to get through. But that's it. That's what the Spectrum's like. You had difficult games. You had big, expansive maps. You didn't have auto mapping. You had to work through. And of course, as you work through, you get far more proficient with the requirements of quite a precise control system. It has to be said. Nevertheless, I can see why Saboteur has endured. It had three titles in the Spectrum: Saboteur, Saboteur 2, and Saboteur 3. Why it had numerous remakes in the homebrew scene. Why it's been remade for mobile devices as well. Dick, I'm gonna recommend it because I think I recommend pretty much everything I review. Let's be honest, but it is a good example where, yeah, the graphics work is not as great. It's clearly 8-bit. It's done by a small team, but at the same time, the gameplay is all there. The action is there. The adventure is there. The ninjaing is still there. I haven't found a machine gun yet. That would be nice. And, but it's all there. It's all nicely packaged. It got critical acclaim, and no wonder. That and Durrell's Saboteur.